A 12-year-old boy named Jalen Carter walked into a bank one bright Saturday morning in Tempe, Arizona. He wasn't scared of much. He could crack a joke fast enough to make his friends double over. He ruled the basketball court at recess, and he could keep up with kids 2 grades ahead of him in science. But today, his palms were damp, and his throat was tight as he stepped up to the towering glass doors of Crestmark Bank on Fremont Avenue. This was Jalen's first solo deposit. He had just turned 12 and had been saving every dollar of birthday money he received, 5s, 10s, and even a couple of 20s. His envelope held exactly $220. To an adult, it might not seem like much. But to Jalen, it was months of hearing, "You've better save that," from Aunt Yvette, Uncle Martin, and his older cousin Damien, who worked the night shift at the body shop. His mom, Dr. Monica Carter, had driven him there, but she stayed in the car. Through the roll-down window, she gave him one last piece of advice. "You got this, baby. Walk in there like you belong, because you do." He nodded, swallowing the nerves building in his chest, and stepped inside. The floor squeaked slightly beneath his sneakers, still dusty from last night's pickup game. The bank was quiet. Not empty, just hushed with that weekend kind of calm. A man in a button-down shirt checked his phone at the kiosk. An older couple sat in the waiting chairs murmuring over paperwork. A mother stood at the counter, signing a form while her toddler gnawed on the corner of a deposit slip. Jalen got in line behind her. He peeked at the envelope in his hoodie pocket. He'd written J. Carter Savings in careful handwriting and practiced his signature 3 times last night. No one asked him to, but it felt right, like stepping into responsibility. The woman and her child left. The teller behind the counter, a woman with silver-streaked brown hair and a name tag reading Susan Delacroix, didn't look up when she said, "Next." Jalen stepped forward, his voice polite but clear. "Hi, I'm here to deposit into my savings." Susan finally looked at him. Her eyes fell immediately to the envelope in his hands. "Where did you get that kind of money?" she asked. Jalen blinked. "It's my birthday money," he said, holding it up. "From my aunt, my cousin. I just wanted to put in." "Uh-huh," she said flatly. She leaned over the counter and squinted at the bills like they were counterfeit. "Do you have a state-issued ID?" He hesitated. "No, ma'am. Just my school ID and my account number. My mom opened it with me last summer." Susan sighed sharply. "Well, I'm going to need to verify all of this. You could be anyone, and this could be anything." Jalen's chest tightened. He looked down at the envelope, then back at her. "I can give you the account number," he said softly. But she already picked up the phone. "I'm calling the manager to assist. Just wait." Jalen could feel the eyes now. The man at the kiosk turned to watch. The older couple glanced up. Even the other teller 2 stations overpaused what she was doing. Jalen opened his backpack and pulled out the little blue bank booklet his mom gave him. Maybe that would help. But Susan was too busy whispering on the phone, eyes flicking toward him every few seconds. When she hung up, she gave Jalen a look that made him feel smaller than his 12 years. "Someone will be with you shortly," she said curtly, returning to her screen. Jalen stood there. His hands were stiff. The room felt colder somehow. It wasn't the AC. It was the way the air changed the second she asked that first question. A tall man in a dark gray tie stepped out from the hallway. His name tag read, Matthew Sanchez, branch manager. He approached with a neutral expression. "Hi there," he said. "Trying to make a deposit?" Jalen nodded. "Yes, sir. Into my savings account." "He says it's birthday money," Susan added, not bothering to look up. Matthew gave her a glance before turning back to Jalen. "Do you have your account information?" Jalen handed him the booklet and the slip with his number. "I don't have a state ID," he added. "Just school. I'm 12. 12, huh? Came in by yourself?" "Yes, sir. My mom's outside." "Okay," Matthew said. "May I look at the money?" Jalen handed over the envelope. Matthew counted carefully. Susan muttered, "I just thought we should be cautious. You never know these days." The words stung. Jalen froze. She hadn't said anything explicitly cruel, but the meaning hung in the air like a bad smell. Matthew said nothing. He finished counting. 220, correct? Jalen nodded. "All right. Give me a minute to verify the account." As he walked away, Jalen remained still. The envelope was gone, but his anxiety stayed. He heard his mom's voice in his head. "You're not the problem, baby." A woman in line glanced at him, then looked away. When Matthew returned, he handed Jalen a receipt. "You're all set. It's gone through." "Thank you," Jalen whispered. But just as he turned to leave, Susan murmured, "Better safe than sorry." It wasn't loud, but it was loud enough. Jalen stopped. His ears burned. He wanted to speak, but the words stuck. Then the glass door opened. Dr. Monica Carter walked in like she owned the ground under her heels. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. She went straight to her son. "You okay?" she asked, quiet but firm. Jalen nodded. "Not really." She turned to the counter, her gaze unwavering. "Good morning. I'm Dr. Monica Carter. Jalen is my son. His deposit has been processed," Matthew offered, trying to smooth things over. "That's not why I'm here," she said. "I watched my son walk in, proud, responsible, and excited. Instead, he was questioned, doubted, and humiliated." Susan flushed. "I was just following protocol." "Your protocol involved assuming a child is suspicious because he has cash on his birthday?" Monica turned slightly. "Do you know how many accounts my firm holds with this bank, Mr. Sanchez?" "3, I believe. Carter Equity, your personal, and the STEM Youth Foundation." "Correct. And I've taught financial literacy to over 300 black and brown students in this city. Students who walk into banks like this and are told, directly or indirectly, that they don't belong." The room had gone silent. Even the toddler from earlier was still. "Do you ask every child for ID? Or just mine?" "That's not fair," Susan murmured. "It's not fair to pressure a 12-year-old because you made assumptions." Monica stepped back. "He came in here to do what we tell children to do. Be responsible." Instead of being acknowledged, he was treated like a threat. Jalen looked at his mom in awe. Not because she was loud. She wasn't. But because every word hit like a brick set gently in place. "Tyler," she said, using his middle name now. "Would you like to say something?" He didn't expect that, but he nodded. "I just wanted to save my money," he said. "I had everything I needed, but I was treated like I didn't belong." He paused. "I don't want anyone else to feel that way." Matthew nodded slowly. "You're right. We should have done better. I am sorry." Susan added, her tone softer. "I misread the situation. I'm sorry, Jalen." Monica looked at her son. "Ready?" He hesitated. "Can I do the deposit again?" Matthew blinked. "It already went through." "But, sure, we can walk through it." Jalen filled out a new slip. No shaking hands, just clarity. He handed it over. Matthew stamped it. It didn't change the system, but it reclaimed the moment. They walked out together. In the car, Jalen sat quietly. "Why'd she look at me like that?" he asked. Monica took a long breath. "Because she decided who you were before you said a word." "That's not fair." "No, it isn't." He looked down at the envelope. "I didn't do anything wrong." "You didn't," she confirmed. "But sometimes the world reacts to who it thinks you are, not who you actually are." He thought for a moment. "Do you think she would have asked for ID if I were white?" Monica didn't flinch. "Probably not." He exhaled. "I wanted her to feel small." "I get that," she said. "But the goal isn't to shame. It's to make people see." He turned to her. "Think I made a difference today?" She smiled. "You walked in proud. You walked out with dignity. That's more than most adults manage." Later, she revealed, "I've been to that bank. She helped me once. Cold, not rude. I didn't expect her to treat you like that." Jalen leaned back. "People say to do the right thing. Save, be polite, be early. Then this happens. Doing the right thing doesn't mean you'll always be treated right. But it builds something no one can take." "What's that?" "Character. Memory. The kind that helps someone else one day." He nodded. "So, this could happen again. Maybe. But next time, you'll be ready." He unfolded and folded the envelope in his lap. "I still want to go back. Do it for real. With someone who treats me right." "We'll do it on your time," Monica said. He sat taller. "Next time, I won't second-guess myself. I'll walk in like I belong." "Because you do." He smiled. "I think I just made the most valuable deposit already." She laughed, soft and true. "You really are your father's son. You say that when I'm being clever." No, she said, when you're being wise. The bank grew smaller in the rear view. But Jalen was bigger than when he walked in. As they neared home, Jalen asked, "You ever get tired of proving yourself every time you walk in a room?" "All the time," she answered. "But I do it anyway. I don't want to be angry all the time." "You don't have to be. Anger is a warning light. What you do with it, that's the lesson." He nodded slowly. She stepped out for water at a gas station. When she returned, he said, "The hardest part wasn't the questions. It was her face. Like I didn't even belong." "That's how they try to erase you," Monica said. "Not with words. With doubt. With silence. With that look. But I didn't disappear." "No," she said, squeezing his hand. "You didn't. And you never will." When they pulled into the driveway, Jalen turned. "Can I say one more thing?" "Always. I'm not just going to remember how they treated me. I'm going to remember how I responded." She smiled. "That's what makes you unstoppable." Jalen grabbed his backpack and paused. "Next time, I'm bringing someone with me. Jordan or Micah. Gonna teach them how to handle it." Her eyes shone. "That's what leaders do." He stepped into the sunlight, shoulders high. And this time, his footsteps didn't sound nervous. They sounded like someone who knew exactly where he was going.